Weirdest fake bodybuilders ever. Hello everyone, welcome back to Ahmed Media. Please stay tuned and watch till the end, and don't forget to subscribe, like, share and comment for future topics. Bodybuilding has been around since at least the 19th century, when the father of modern bodybuilding, Eugene Sandow, started putting out what he called muscle display performances. Pretty soon these performances turned into contests and they spread all over the world, but they didn't achieve meaningful mainstream success until the 1970s, when a man came from Austria with a dream and turned bodybuilding into a worldwide phenomenon.
I mean, it's terrific, right? So, I'm in heaven.
But he didn't do it naturally, and neither did the millions of people who tried to emulate him. After becoming one of the biggest movie stars on earth, and even the governor of California, Arnold admitted to using steroids. In the almost 40 years since Arnold first burst onto the scene, it has now gotten out of control, and fake bodybuilders have gone to outrageous lengths to get built. Here are the most extreme cases.
Hey, listen, if you don't know who I am, turn the video off right now.
In the good old days before CGI was what it is today, the Hulk had to be played by a real person for a few years. That person was the bodybuilder Lou Ferrigno. Although he did more flexing than actual fighting in his Hulk, it was still an iconic role, and even 40 years later it inspired people all over the world, like the Brazilian bodybuilder Romário Alves, who calls himself the Brazilian Hulk. Not too long ago, he was a normal enough guy working as a security guard and working out in the gym in his free time. But to make the jump from muscular normal person to the bulging Brazilian Hulk that he is today, he needed some unnatural help, so he turned to SYNTHOL. SYNTHOL is a cocktail of oil, alcohol and lidocaine, which is an anesthetic. It fills your muscles with oil, numbs them and turns them hard, mimicking the appearance of properly developed muscles. Obviously, injecting this stuff into your body is bad news, and it has all sorts of negative side effects like nerve damage, blocked arteries, stroke and even oil-filled cysts. So Alves, the Brazilian Hulk, after injecting this stuff for a few years, got infections in his enormous biceps and came within an inch of having them amputated. The doctor told me that they would need to amputate both arms, he said. Everything in there, all my muscles were rock. It was either that or cut all of my muscles out. In the end, the doctors removed his hardened muscles and he went back to bodybuilding as usual, although you can still see the remnants of his injections. And he still calls himself the Hulk. He posts videos on his Instagram account and YouTube channel all the time, looking like a very muscular and completely green man. But Alves isn't the only Hulk. An Iranian man named Sajjad Karibi calls himself the Iranian Hulk. He's a 6'2", which is definitely taller than average, but not tall enough to justify all of his 392 pounds. Although he's not as obviously bulbous and dejected as his Brazilian counterpart, you don't just get this way by doing a few push-ups. There has been rumors circulating that the two Hulks could actually face off against each other in an MMA fight, but so far nothing has materialized. Although Alves has addressed it on Instagram with a message to the Iranian, "I'm going to rip off your head." Mustafa Ismail, also known as the Egyptian Popeye and Big Mo, officially holds the Guinness World Record for biggest biceps in the world. But not everyone believes that his 31-inch biceps are real. It's obvious that they're out of the ordinary, but are they actually fake? Ismail himself has actually denied it. In an attempt to clear his name, he appeared on a Japanese TV documentary where he got blood tests and x-rays to prove that he is 100% natural. According to him, the tests all came back negative for SYNTHOL and implants, but the Guinness Book of World Records has removed him from the website for the time being. But not everyone tries to keep their SYNTHOL use a secret. One 48-year-old Brazilian man has become famous for not only using SYNTHOL, but being proud of it. His name is Valder Segato, but on the internet he goes by the name of Valder SYNTHOL. He got built using more traditional means until 2013, when he decided to start injecting himself with a chemical cocktail to get that otherworldly, disproportionate Popeye look. Since then, he's become famous with more than 26,000 followers on his Instagram account, where he posts photos of himself flexing. Ali's Surur Sultan is one of the most left-handed examples on this list. He's obviously doing something not quite natural to get his muscles, but that's not what's most captivating about him. He doesn't just do his own bodybuilding. He actually owns his own gym called Surur's Fitness Center. In his gym, he coaches others and even hosts bodybuilding contests in Abu Dhabi. In all sports, there are people who get more famous for cheating like Ben Johnson, Lance Armstrong, or Barry Bonds. The same thing is true for bodybuilding and for Greg Valentino. Valentino actually originally got famous as a natural bodybuilder, training for decades and even winning contests without the use of any steroids or synthetic oils. But once he discovered how easy it was to bulk up by using a mixture of equipoise and testosterone propionate, he went all in and he denies ever using SYNTHOL. He apparently injected 6,000 milligrams of the mixture directly into his biceps every week. He described how mixing the testosterone and equipoise made it more effective than SYNTHOL. SYNTHOL just works one way, he said. It stretches the face, yet with equipoise and propionate, you get the double effect. You get the stress from the oil, plus you get the localized growth from the drugs themselves. At their peak, his biceps measured 27 inches, but eventually it reached a breaking point. Quite literally, one of his arms was hit with a bat and it filled with blood, so a doctor had to pop it. Valentino described what happened next as less of an explosion than a deflation, and the evidence is still there today. When the muscles disappeared, the skin that covered it did not, and it hung off his arm and flaps. He eventually got the extra skin removed, and now one of his arms has got a little scar and the other has a little crater. He uses these physical marks as evidence of the fact that he has never used SYNTHOL, a fact which it seems he'll be trying to explain away for the rest of his life. Jorge Coggi is without a doubt the most ambitious fraud on this list. He first became a public figure in Mexico, his home country. In the year 2001 is when he showed up on the boxing scene and claimed that in the course of his so-called boxing career, he was undefeated. And after some obviously fixed matches, he retired from the scene. But then, in 2015, at the ripe young age of 47, he came back to boxing. This time he showed up in a match in the Philippines with some strange-looking pecs. He proceeded to knock out his opponent in about 2 minutes, and it seemed like he did the whole thing in slow motion. He got pectoral implants and flew to the Philippines to fight in a staged boxing match, in front of a bunch of people he had never seen before in his life and would probably never see again. Okay guys, that is it for today's video. If you liked it, please don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and comment for future topics. Until next time.